Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making face masks, and I have a bunch of different sizes here. I've got large, medium, and then I've got a child size and I've got a baby size. So stick around. We'll do probably each size in over the course of different videos, just for time constraints. I don't want this to be also a beginner video as well, so come along and let's get started. So let's do this video. This is the size of face mask that will fit most people. We'll start with the red. So using a 4.5, sorry, using a 3.5, starting this video off, great. Using a 3.5, we are going to do a slip knot, and then we're going to chain 7. And then we're going to do 6 single crochets back up, starting in the only chain you can get to. The very first one you can get to, so the second one from your hook. So again, I'm just using a Red Heart Super Saver. So chain 2 once you're done that, and turn your work, and you're going to double crochet in all the stitches across. Chain 2 and turn your work. So row 3 is going to we're going to start our repeat here. So row 3, just want to make sure this is clear. So we're going to need the row counter. So row 3 for our increase is going to be 2 double crochets in the first stitch, 2 double crochets in the last stitch, and then regular double crochets in between. So because you already have this chain 2, that's going to count as a stitch. So in this first stitch you actually only have to put 1, but you have 2 stitches. Sorry if my color is just going in and out. The sun is going in and out, so I tried to adjust it on my camera itself, but it gets so bright in here and then it gets so dull. So I'm in my last stitch here, so I'm going to put 2 double crochets. Chain 2. We're going to do this for the next 6 rows. So that means we have a total of 7 altogether. So I'm just going to hit stitch marker on 1. So put 1 double crochet in here because that makes 2 with the chain 2. Double crochet across. I got gloomy here again. Hard to see where my stitches are. So in the last stitch, put 2 double crochets, chain 2, turn your work, one double crochet for 2, stuck on something there. Wow, just what got stuck on it again. Chain 2, turn your work. Chain 2. I would just like to add, while I'm pulling out my yarn, that this is a dusk mask. This is to be used for, well, I use mine for working in the shop. I use mine for using bleach around my house as a cleaner. So I don't have to inhale the fumes. I use it for painting. I use it, and I just got tired of buying masks, so I made them. They're great. If you have clicked on this video because you need to make a mask because of coronavirus, that's great. It won't prevent you from getting coronavirus. It will, however, prevent you from spreading coronavirus. So I just want to make that clear, that if you've clicked on this because you don't want to catch it, you will still catch coronavirus if you're wearing a mask. Because all it takes is somebody to sneeze on your arm and you've caught it. Or you touched, you go to a supermarket and you touch the cart, you have it. You know, this mask won't prevent you from catching coronavirus. It will prevent you from spreading coronavirus. So, from coughing and sneezing. So, but the masks are great for lots of things. Pregnant women, painting a bedroom, or, you know, a nursery. I use them in my shop as a dust mask because that's what they're for. They are such a great little mask, and you don't have to keep buying and buying and buying. You can buy them fairly cheap off of Amazon, but why? When I can make them and then I can just wash them. So I put up the video, yes, because of the virus going around, but this will not prevent you from getting coronavirus or COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. This will not prevent it. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. Did that go anywhere? Now I don't know how many I've done, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so I was on 5. So I punched that too many times. And one more row of an increase anyway. Lots to do, but one more row of your increase. Chain 2. So this is where we're at right now. Alright, so for row 10 and row 11, it's just going to be a single crochet in each stitch across. So right now we're in the middle of the mask. Chain 2, turn your work, chain 2. So at this point we're going to start our decreases. So our decrease is just going to consist of crocheting 2 stitches together. So for row 12 we're going to double crochet decrease. So you're going to yarn over, you're going to go into the first hole, you're going to grab some yarn, come through, grab some yarn, pull through 2 and stop. Yarn over and go through the second stitch. Yarn over, come through again, yarn over, come through 2, yarn over, and come through all 3 of those. So that's double crocheting 2 together. And then we're gonna double crochet normally till we get to the last 2 stitches, and then we're gonna do the same, decrease. So I'm on the last 2. I'm going to go in like I'm doing a regular double, but I'm not. I'm going to come through 2 and stop. I'm going to yarn over and go through the second stitch, and I'm going to come through first 2 stitches, yarn over again, and come through all 3 of those stitches. Chain 2. So that's our very first decrease. So for round 13, we're just going to double crochet in every stitch, just regular, no increase, no decrease, just regular. So we're basically going to repeat this until we have 6 stitches left. So if you are working ahead of me, every other row is going to be a decrease. Chain 2. Row 14 is going to be a decrease. So you're just going to keep doing this. Decrease 1 row, regular 1 row, decrease 1 row, all till you have 6 stitches left. If you're working ahead of me. So this row is going to be a decrease. Regular crochets till you get down to the last 2 holes. So I'm in the last 2, do another double crochet decrease, chain 2, so this row is just going to simply be a double crochet. So we're going to double crochet 2 together for the first stitch. Double crochet normally in the rest of the stitches till you get down to the last 2. So the last 2 stitches are going to be a decrease. If I can get into that, there we go. Chain 2. So you have 6 stitches left. So you're going to double crochet all the way across. So we're just going to repeat how we started this. So one in each hole, all the way across. You're going to chain one. You're going to put single crochets into the next 6 stitches. Exactly how we started the project. And 6. So here is where we start making our earpieces. So we're not going to cut off, we're just going to, we cut nothing off. There's not going to be fastening off until the entire project is complete. That is the best part of this project. So from here, you're going to chain 17. Now what did I do? I chained 20. So chain 20. Now you're going to come back around, turn your work here. You're going to come back around with your chain. You're going to go right into the top of that chain. And you are going to slip stitch. Slip stitch. And now you're going to single crochet all the way around to this side. You're just going to single crochet wherever you can get in your hook. You're just going to put a single crochet. It cleans up the edges and everything nice and neat. Plus you're able to do your earpieces without fastening off and then reconnecting. So it is such a fast, easy peasy project, and you can probably rip off a few of them a day and save a crap ton of money buying these things. And you know what, unless depending on the material you're making this out of, I'm just making this out of just an acrylic yarn. It's not cotton because I want my face to sweat. When I worked at the hospital, we had to wear masks obviously all the time, and your face is just constantly sweaty, and that's not really what I want when I'm working. So this actually tends to not make your face sweat. So, and it's so much more comfortable than a paper mask, which is what I have for out in my shop. I still have, I bought a bulk box from Amazon of face masks for my shop. So this is your slip knot originally, so I'm just gonna give that a little tug before I go up into that area, and I'm gonna put a couple of stitches up there, a couple of single crochets. So once I'm here and I've put my 2 single crochet or single crochets, wow, I'm gonna chain 20. So once I chain 20, I'm going to come back down through that stitch, both pieces of yarn. I'm going to slip stitch, and then I'm going to put a single crochet in, and I'm just going to continue back down the other side, single crocheting. Your perimeter, keep it nice and clean. It also kind of gives a shape to the mask, sort of a cupping shape, depending on how fast you're, or how much you're pulling for your tension. And the best part about these is you can make them any color you want. You can make them any design you want. My favorite color is purple, so I have made myself some purple masks. So you can see it's kind of starting to cup right now. There, just about done. Easy peasy. So, we're back up here. So I'm just going to put a couple of stitches in this corner, and then I'm going to fasten off. And there you have it. This is a one size fits all kind of a mask. And it cups itself. Once you put that outside border on, it cups itself. This is how it is. I did not make it this way. It does it all by itself, which is the best part. So we're just gonna tuck our stuff in somewhere. I'm probably just gonna go right across here. Just like that. And then our beginning slip knot, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm just going to go right across here, weaving in and out. And there we have it, our face mask. Alright, let's get started. For this one I'm going to be using a number 4mm hook. So make a slip knot. You're going to chain 7. Starting in your second from the hook, you're going to single crochet 6 all the way back up. That should take you to the final stitch and into the final stitch. So just pull on your tail, tighten that up. From here you can chain 2, turn your work, So double crochet in those 6 stitches you just made. Chain 2 and turn your work. So now we're going to start increasing, and we're going to increase in the first and the last stitches by putting 2 crochets into each. This chain 2 counts as a stitch, so this first stitch you only need to put 1 double crochet into that first stitch because you already have the chain 2. Let's try this again. This chain 2 is counting as a stitch, so you just need to put 1 double crochet into this side because that gives you 2 stitches. Double crochet normally, 1 in each hole until you get to the last stitch. And the last stitch you're going to put 2 double crochets into the same space. Chain 2, turn your work. So you're going to repeat this for the next 6 rows. I'm going to clear my row counter and then make it number 1. Are you okay, buddy? You're at your foot again, huh? Alright, so the first one you're going to put in just 1 because with that chain 2 it makes it 2 stitches in the same hole. You double crochet normally across. And 2 in this last hole. And chain 2. And 2 into this last hole. Chain 2. Turn your work. Two double crochets into this last space. Chain 2, turn your work. Still increasing. Still increasing. So let's count, make sure we're where we should be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we had to go to 11, so we have one more row. One more increased row. Chain 2, turn your work. This counts as a stitch, so don't put one in this hole, because then that would make it 2 like we've been doing. Put one in the next hole. So not that one, but this one. chain 2 in between. So not what I was just going to do. One in each stitch. So this chain 2 is a stitch for there. So go into that the next hole. Chain 2, turn your work. So the next row is going to be starting our decrease here. So our next row is going to be a double crochet decrease together. So starting in this same stitch, go into the next stitch, come through 2, and come through 3. So I'll show you again at the end. So the first and the last stitches are going to be our decrease, and then everything else in the middle is going to be regular, and then every row in between is going to be a regular row. It won't be a decrease row. So I got 2 stitches left. So I'm going to go in like I'm doing a double, but I'm only going to come through the first 2. Then I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, and I'm going to come through and I'm going to yarn over and go through 2. So I have 3 left. We yarn over and go through all those 3. So that's how you double crochet 2 together. So chain 2. And the next row is just going to be a regular row where you just put 1 in each hole. And then the next row after that is going to be a decrease row, and then it's going to be a regular row, and then a decrease row. And we're going to do it until we get down to 6 stitches like we started with. So if you're working ahead, that's what we're going to be doing. So this row is just a regular row. Chain 2, turn your work, and this will be a decrease row. With regular stitches in between. That stitch did not go through 2 pieces of yarn, so I'm just going to pull that out. Yarn over, make sure it goes through 2 pieces. So my 2 last stitches. Oops. chain 2, turn your work, regular row, regular DC row, chain 2, turn your work, nine stitches left, so we're getting down there. So this will be a decrease row. So the next 6 stitches, do a double crochet, chain 2, and then, oh sorry, chain 1, don't chain 2 there, chain 1 and turn your work, and then single crochet in the next 6 stitches, and from here you can chain 20. That's 20. Turn your work. Come down with your hook and go into that end stitch. Then you're going to slip stitch that together. Pull tight. And then you're going to start with a single crochet, and you're going to single crochet all the way back up around wherever you can get your hook into till you come to the other end. So try to keep near the outside. You don't go too far into your work to do your border. But you just want to put a border all the way around that. Pulling tight from time to time just to kind of snug it up. I don't know what just happened there. Lost my stitch. So you can easily get into the end of all your stitches to make a stitch. So it goes fairly fast. So this mask shouldn't replace a respirator or anything, because obviously it still has holes in it, but it will cut down on odors and dust and stuff like that. So, and like I said, I use it for cleaning my bathtub with bleach, because I've gotten sick many times over those fumes. So I'm going to put 2 in the end here. And then I'm going to chain 20. And I'm just going to come back over here and go through the last stitch on this side, and I'm going to slip stitch just like I did on the other side. Pull tight, and then I'm going to single crochet. I can grab it. I'm going to put 2 in there just like I did on the other side. And then you can just continue back up to where you started with your single crochets. But anyway, like I was saying, this mask is great for just cutting down the odors. Yes, there are still holes in there, but I actually find this works better than the paper mask as far as cutting down on odors and hay fever and stuff like this. I actually find that the fibers in the yarn catch, especially with hay fever. The fibers in the yarn actually catch a lot of the toxins that create the symptoms. So I just cannot stress enough that this will not prevent you from getting coronavirus. This will prevent you from spreading it to somebody else, but it will not prevent you from getting it. This is not a very hard video or a very hard mask to do. It's a very fast project. I'm going to put 2 in there as well, and then I'm going to fasten off. Just like that. I'm just gonna come right across here with my end. And our other end here, I'm going to do the same thing with. Just going to go right across. Just like that. There we have it. Now we have an adult one size fits all. I mean, a lot of, and it should be snug on your face. And now we have a child's, which actually isn't that much difference. But so we have an adult and we have a child's one size fits all masks. And I'll be doing other videos where I have a larger size for men, and then a larger size child's. You know, some kids' heads. One of my grandkids has a very big head. So, yeah, I'll be doing a larger size adults, one size fits all. I know that doesn't make sense. One size should just fit all, but this will fit probably 99% of women. This will fit. And this should fit 99% of kids. But for the oddballs, or people with heads like my granddaughter, then, you know, this is bigger. If anybody needs a bigger one, the video's out there for them to do. And then I've got, that's kid size. And then I've got the baby size too. So for little infants like my brand new grandson. So yeah, so we'll get those videos out for you too, left-handed and right-handed. And thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.